I wanted to, talk to you about the Kolkata rape case. Of course, the Supreme Court has been hearing, this case on a regular basis, and it's also live. The Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, has been calling for stricter, more stringent laws for rape and for murder. And I think the legislative has passed, the State Assembly has passed some new laws. Is this all political posturing? Because as far as I know, we already have very stringent laws in place. What we may be lacking is, collection of evidence then properly filing it. Is it political posturing?
So, according to me, it's a knee-jerk reaction. And when Nirbhaya happened, they amended the Indian Penal Code drastically and made, rape more, I would say, an offense which could be very easily established without much evidence, the way it has now been drafted. But I'll tell you something very interesting which I have dealt with in my career. So there was this judge in a small place called Araria. Judge's name, I remember I had also represented him, Shashikant Rai. So he had a case of a child, 6-year-old Dalit girl, brutally raped. And the only mistake that he did was that when the girl's side of testimony was there in court, he heard all of them the same day, because he realized, and this is true for all rape cases in the country, and today you will see how there is a hue and cry of speedy trial, etc. Everybody is talking. So what he did was that he heard all the evidences on the same day and asked the other side to bring their evidences the next day. And since they didn't have any evidence to give, so he heard the argument and decided in a couple of days. He was suspended for that.
Okay.
I had to file a case in Supreme Court in the writ petition to get his suspension withdrawn. And that judgment was set aside by the High Court only on the ground that he gave speedy justice. And that was affirmed by the Supreme Court. And I tell you, this kind of justice which he gave is actually the need of the hour. Because what happens in these rape cases is the height of travesty, I would say. So Supreme Court also, said that no, you can't do this. You have to give time. When you and this is mind you, child victim.
6-year-old.
POSCO is a victim-centric legislation.
Right.
A victim-centric legislation. Of course, when you have a doctor involved and a major doctor and who's killed also is also equally heinous. I'm not saying that it was no less. But then this particular case grabbed the media attention. That particular case didn't grab the media attention.
But that's true of a lot of rape cases where, the latest statistics are of 2023 December are that India has nearly 30,000 plus rape cases which are registered. Now, if you really look at that, I think that's not even a fraction of the ones that actually take place. Like, for instance, I'll give you in the US, every year about 450,000 or 450,000 cases are filed of rapes and sexual assaults. Yeah.
So that is where our policing is, needs to be completely reformed. And I've done another case of Rajasthan where again a child victim, her FIR was not registered at all. And it was only when the judge really intervened, and it was again a very bright judge who intervened, and he also had to face trouble for that. He had to face strictures by the High Court. And ultimately, I got those strictures, from the Supreme Court removed against him. But his only grievance was that the police has not done their duty. And the police lobby is so strong that the High Court was in his favor. So ultimately, even this statistics that you have, hardly 10% or 20% actually get into conviction or get into proper trial.
It's 27%.
That would be trial. The conviction would be even less than 10%. So the policing in India for a rape victim to go and get a case registered is a trauma by itself.
Right.
And you have said that there should be a video installed, video recording of when the victim goes to the police station. But it is all more in breach than in observance. The kind of questions the Thana will ask a victim when she comes to get the FIR register is something which shudders any girl from a good family to even visit a Thana, because she knows that she'll have to go through that trauma. So that is where we need to be. That's a completely different aspect in this country,
Right.
where police has to be completely taken out of the control of the executive, and if that and for that also there is a judgment of the Supreme Court, Prakash Singh's case.
Yes, of course.
And even till date, no government, whether it be BJP, Congress, or
Nobody
Mamta,
wants to act.
nobody wants to give up the control on the police. So that's the other, that's the executive side problem in these kind of cases. But it's a very sad state of affairs.
As a senior advocate, you talked about two cases of minors that you have, experienced yourself, and how difficult it is. I mean, here one case where the judge passed the judgment but was removed, as in he was suspended, and the other case where the High Court passed strictures. So, what is it? Is it is it socio-economic, or is it just the mindset in India? What is it what are we lacking? And here we are not talking about the general public at large. We are talking about learned justices.
So basically, there is something I would say in our, and when I say our, I don't mean mine or yours. I mean the average mind's, thinking, and the still, a large part of our society considers women as merely an object and not as a human being, and they feel that. So that is a more of a social issue in this country than a legal issue. And because it's a social issue, our judges are also from the same society. So, the mindset percolates down.
The judges, the police,
the lawyers,
doctors who also do the postmortem.
everybody.
And that in itself is another story where, as a reporter, and I have covered some rape cases, murder cases. I mean, even to get a postmortem report and the correct postmortem report, they're completely different stories. We don't even have the scope of getting into that particular discourse.
So as far as ultimately the rape case is concerned, according to me, the right way forward is, apart from the social change, and we have to teach our children, we teach our boys that they have to respect women, is the speedy justice. If you take these people to trial and do a summary trial in a day and convict them, you see there'll be a difference. When this judge convicted this person in a couple of days, the rapes in Araria went down while he was there. So there was no rape happening because they realized that there is a judge, Otherwise, victims are so many in the country, and they are the most, or rather the least reported. And there is so much of pressure on the family.
Pressure,
stigma, pressure, money power being used. Invariably, the rapist has the kind of money, to buy out the family. The family invariably are very, very poor. And media is also not interested in this kind of a poor family, a poor Dalit family. So, the Supreme Court intervenes and says, no, this trial has gone wrong. The whole thing should be redone. And when it is being redone, all the witnesses run away, or they are then won over. So this is what is happening in rape cases. And the real way is to do a speedy trial, according to me.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching this clip. As you know, we are taking a deep dive into some complex issues and decoding them for you. So don't forget to check out more content on our channel. And also, we'd love to hear back from you with your comments and your suggestions. So let's explore together.